Morning. Okay, so does it feel good? It's been really hot, and it's my day off work. It's Tuesday, and we don't have any projects planned. I mean, maybe we're gonna pick up some little sticks or something that have fallen down, or it's really hot, and we finished the big project, which was getting the buck pen up and the horse fencing. That's been in work for months, so that's a really good accomplishment, and everybody's earned a little bit of chill time. So aside from regular morning and evening chores, making sure everybody does well in the heat, we're just gonna kind of take it easy. But I thought this was a really good opportunity to talk about why we're doing what we're doing and why we have picked some of the animals that we have to raise here. I'm not a great public speaker, so you're gonna have to hang out with me and bear with my ums and uhs, and hopefully I can cut a lot of those out. I'll try not to do that, but yeah, join me on my morning chores and I'll talk about why we have the animals that we have, and that I'm a vegetarian, mostly, not all the way, not strictly, but mostly, and I raise animals for meat. Alright, so my first stop of the day is always the chicken coop. The ducks sleep in the smallest enclosure, and there's too many of them. Keep saying I'm going to get rid of some, and just having it. Mostly we're waiting to figure out which ones are drakes and which ones are females. So we only want to keep about 3 or 4. Hopefully that doesn't fall down. Anyway, so I'm going to let them out, feed them before we move on. So I just keep their food in a little Tractor Supply bucket, about half a scoop, morning and evening. I fed them more. They don't eat it. They free range all day till about 8:30, 9, whenever it gets dark. And they are able to take really good care of themselves. So we just supplement their food source. I always come over and I keep a bucket here on the fence post. They have their pool, so I just grab a bucket so they have water while they're eating, and then we come back and we empty out the bucket, and it's helping keep their run dry. We keep the pool outside and they use it all day. So our ducks are cayuga ducks. We picked them because they're actually a dual purpose bird. They're not endangered, but they are on the list that's monitored. Can't remember exactly what that is. I'll look and I'll put it like under my face. But anyway, Cayuga Lake in New York is what these ducks are named for. They produce meat and eggs. Our plans are just to have hopefully 2 breeding pairs. The rest will sell. I've suggested that everybody puts them in the freezer and eats them, but I don't know if my family's just had a bad experience with duck or what. They say they don't like them, but who knows. We'll see in a few weeks once we figure out who's boys and who's girls. Then we'll decide. All right, let's go to the horses next. all. We're a military family. My husband works at Cherry Point, and when we moved from our last duty station, we decided that we weren't going to board anymore, that we were going to invest in our own space and let them live in the backyard. I don't think you can see her. Athena's an Arabian and Kane's an off-the-track thoroughbred. I mean, he's just a thoroughbred. Never really was successful on the track, so. But they just enjoy a nice, relaxing lifestyle, and they also help us improve the land a little bit. Using their manure and their foot traffic has changed the way this area looked. It's growing sparse grass now, but it had no grass. This was all thick woods, and it is past the third paddock. But the other field had no grass. It was just full of old trucks and boats and stuff, and we cleaned it out. And with putting them in there and letting them work the soil and drop manure and then overseeding after, we're getting grass. Not even a year in. We've only been here since last September. So, all right, we're gonna head back towards the chickens and then the goats. So first order of business at the chicken coop is getting the turkeys out. I'll be honest, here. That way you don't have to talk to the ground. Our chicken routine's a little odd. We have, shucks, I've even lost count. I think we have 38 chickens now. Now only 15 of those are laying age or very near laying age. So we now have 4 that we know, maybe even 5 that we know are laying. So I'm leaving everybody in the coop. It's taken about a week. They went from us just finding eggs to us finding eggs in the nesting box at like 1 or 2 p.m. Now we're at about 10, where 4 of them have laid and 1 more started, I think yesterday or the day before. So we leave them in here. We come check them about 10 and again at noon if they haven't already been let out. But if I get my 4 to 5 eggs, they just come out. So I'm gonna throw their scratch and their layer pellets. The other, what'd I say? That was 15, so that means we have another 20 something. We have 3 guinea keats, and the remainder are all chickens. We have 3, I forgot, the bantams. I gotta take a video of them because they're super funky and cute looking right now. But anyway, the juvenile chickens obviously aren't laying, but they won't come out without the other chickens, so they just stay in there too. But they'll get there. They're only, gosh, I think we're at 8-9 weeks with them, so they have a ways to go, but they just chill. I throw their scratch in there, and they do their thing till the chickens lay, and then everybody gets to free range again till about dark. They put themselves away, we close the doors, everybody's safe for the night. So this is how I keep my chicken feed for now. This is the starter grower. This is scratch that I give them in the morning. It's got millet and a few whole grains. This is a new scratch I just got from Coker Feed Mills. It's way prettier than what I was getting from just Tractor Supply. It's got a nice rich color. I don't know if you can tell, but the grains are nice dark brown, which I really like. They don't look dried out. And then these are their layer pellets, which I just throw a scoop in. So it's a scoop of this, which goes to our 15 layers, and the rest, I put a few scoops of this in there. All right, we're gonna move on to the girls, the goats, but I'm gonna show you. Hey, morning, Corb. Corbin got himself up. He's doing the bunnies right now. That's his chore. So this really only takes us about 30 minutes in the morning. We all have something that we do, and then we just go in. Evening takes a little longer because we have milking, but that's okay. I'm going to show you where our coop is in relation to our paddock and show you how it's really worked to help us bring grass in. Hang on. All right, so this big paddock was our big dirt patch. It was full of trash, tires. There was actually a single wide trailer that was here where our garden and our chicken coop is. This had, I think, 3 or 4 boats, a bunch of tractor trailers, older like tractor supply parts, and just junk. So the horses went in here for several months, walked around, moved the dirt, packed it a little so it's a lot more level, worked seed in. We put several round bales out, and when they would not eat them, I'd roll them out and it would just go into the ground. And I overseeded. When the horses are here, these chickens, I love this part. If you're into sustainable land management, I think this is cool. All these chickens come over here. The horses poop. Of course, flies get in the poop and lay larvae. They scratch it up there. I think there might be a couple more piles down there since I moved the horses over a day ago. They came in, they scratched it out, they eat the larvae and the maggots or whatever. We don't have a fly problem because of our chickens, and we planned it that way. That's why we have so many. I do know I'll have a considerable amount of eggs to figure out what to do with. We'll probably end up selling them, not really to make a profit, to supplement their feed and to share that resource with others. So we're not going to be charging exorbitant amounts, but it works very well for our setup, and that's kind of how we're developing this, is in a holistic way. And that brings me to the goats. Hang on. And we moved them down here, and we moved them one more time down there, and now we just put this larger paddock up because the bucks aren't using it. Fence is off so I can walk right in. But as you can see, we have considerable amount of weeds, vines, thorny things. Hello, ladies. How you doing? Good morning, girls. There's Hazel and Heidi. Morning, ladies. You hungry? All right, hang on. Let me drop this. Okay, so goat minerals, we just make sure they always have some. I honestly don't feed them a ton. I have less than half a scoop of their feed. I sprinkle it in twice a day just so, whoops, sorry, pumpkin's kind of a wide load right now. Just so they're, used to us being around. They associate us with the good stuff. So, gotta fill this one. This is interesting to do with the camera in hand, by the way. All right, there you go, girls. Oh, hi, Hazel. There we go. Okay, the girls are fed. Let me show you where I have them and why I have them here. They are weed patrol and milk and, if needed, meat. But that wasn't the intended purpose for this goat. I am very interested in getting a little herd of Kiko goats down the road, but this is an excellent start, and I love goats. Do you hear that bell? I don't know why that brings me so much joy. Pumpkin, go eat your food. Here, let me show you. All right, so these are piles. See all this stuff that we've just cut back, and we cut little tracks, and it's really big. So once they've eaten this all down, it'll probably take them about a week. We're just gonna bring this fencing around that. Oh my gosh. Hey, Cricket, good morning. I love you too. So yeah. But the girls get moved. The bucks don't anymore. I can still use the netting for them. What, guys? They're like puppies. I can still use the fencing for them if I need to, but I don't. As you can tell, fence isn't on right now, which is why I'm not getting shocked. Alright, I gotta find a place to hang their hay net. Okay, so that's how I just find a tree that'll work. I put their hay net up. Everybody is like wanting attention. Huh, Hazel? You just want the loves? But here, I'm gonna be in the video. There we go. Oh my goodness. I love you too. I Your food's over there. Pumpkin really likes back scratches. They have added a lot, not a lot of work, to be honest. They're really easy. We come see them in the morning, deliver their food, fill the water, hay net, and in the evenings it only takes us about 5 to 7 minutes per goat to milk out. And they don't even eat that much because they eat all the weeds. So I keep their hay net full of the alfalfa that I got from my sister in Michigan. It's beautiful, and I really am serious about going back up there Hey, Pumpkin. And getting some later this year or next year. It's fun to visit her, and it's a great source of hay. Way more affordable than what I can get here, even driving with gas. It's worth it if I spend a little time with her. But yeah, so we got, again, goats for dairy. I did want that. I have fond memories of goat's milk as a kid, and honestly, this goat's milk tastes different from what I remember. I do remember somewhat of a goaty flavor, but it was a big dairy, and they had a lot of goats, so I don't know if that played into it, or if they kept bucks with them, or if it's the feed. But this goat's milk, Cricket's over here. Cricket, I love it. This goat's milk tastes, I don't know how to describe it. It's very pleasant. It's much richer than what we're used to. We really don't drink a whole lot of milk. We use it for cooking and baking, and we use it in a lot of things. So that's a big benefit. And plus, I really like them. He's Sookie. This is our only little newbie in here, huh, Sook? Hi, Dottie. And Dottie has just become such a sweet little girl. She was really shy in the beginning, and now she loves her back scratches, huh? Oh, Dottie. So, if you are on the fence, I've never owned goats before. If you're on the fence, as somebody who hasn't, I can say I love them. Ours aren't hard to keep in. They're used to the netting now. They know that food's always going to be here. We let them out. They free range in the evenings for a little bit while we do chores, and they seem to really like it. Hi, Cricket. Am I forgetting you? Oh, hello, Pumpkin. Sorry if this video turned into like a goat love fest, but our girls really are sweet, huh? You are. Pumpkin's hopefully going to give us some babies this fall. We're all very excited. And we did end up breeding Heidi to our younger buck. So that's his first experience, and I don't know how it'd go, but they seem to enjoy each other's company, and hopefully we'll get some babies down the line. I know. I mean, aren't they the cutest? You're the cutest. Your food's over there while you're hanging out with me. Huh? Okay, I feel like now is an appropriate time to talk about the whole vegetarian raising meat thing. Because we're moving on to animals that are only here to serve one purpose, and that is to fill a freezer. They're not egg laying. Our rabbits are not pets. Well, we kind of treat them like pets, but the offspring are not pets. So not a vegetarian, necessarily not a personal choice. It is literally how I was raised my whole life by a very health-conscious mother who wanted to change the way she was raised to a healthier lifestyle. And I give her kudos for that, because she gave me a lot of skills with nutrition and how to eat and how to supplement, and not looking at alternative sources of nutrition as gross or weird. It's all kind of up for game. But never had any meat as far as I know until probably my, sorry for the bucks, late teens, early 20s, and I've tasted turkey. Not a big fan, but I'm going to try it again this fall because we have, our turkeys' names are Thanksgiving and Christmas, and we are going to eat them. But never had red meat, maybe tasted some fish, not a big fan. And I do eat some chicken, probably maybe once a month, but not a lot. More if it's in curry. I do love curry. So these are our meat birds. Oh, yeah. So it's not an ethical thing. I think animals should be raised for meat. I think it's a wonderful source of nutrition. I think our farming industry has been under attack for a long time, and I don't think farmers are in it because they're innately cruel. They eventually get to a scale that they have to turn some of that workload over to people who are obviously not good farmers. So since we have space and we have some knowledge, we are learning a lot. So don't think we're pros at this. First time meat birds, had rabbits as a kid, but never for meat. First time goat owners, first time chicken, nope, not true. I had a Polish chicken when I was a kid. So anyway, a lot of this is firsts, but having an understanding of pasture management with horses, feeding routine, nutrition, parasite control has made me feel a lot more comfortable with taking on different species. And the goal this year was 3 protein sources. So we've got our eggs, our chickens, and our rabbits. And next year I want to add pork to it. We're going to be raising mainly for bacon because that's everyone's every favorite thing. And we want to do 1 pig roast a year. We thought that would be a fun tradition for us to start at our homestead. So before these guys starve to death, because they always think they're starving to death, these are our meat birds. It's our first year we chose Cornish crosses because they grow out very quick, and their feed to meat ratio is very efficient. I do think that we are going to pick a dual purpose bird. It makes more sense for the way we are farming. We won't have to order chicks. I won't have to butcher a ton at once. I mean, we could do like 10 grow outs and put them in the freezer. These guys are huge. They are mutant chickens and they're kind of nasty. So without further ado, let's get them fed. All right, so as you can see, I'm just about at the end of my hose length. I'll have to add another segment, which is fine. We have our automatic water. We check water 3 to 4 times a day, but this will stay full probably till about noon or 1 o'clock. It feeds down, it detaches from here if needed so we can clean it. It feeds into these little nipples, which they drink from. And then we have this long feeder, and we have the pan on the ground. Here, there. I've found that, well, I knew they were aggressive feeders, and they just sort of pile on top of each other. So if they give them a few feeding sources, they kind of spread out. They're a little more chill. I wanted to show you the other benefit of doing a tractor, which I know tons of people are aware of this, and maybe you're not, but it's manure if you're specifically interested in fertilizing. It works really well. And it's free. Your chickens are going to produce it whether you like it or not. So here, let me flip this around. You can see where this hose is, the track that they worked. And we move this once a day. And they're pooping and scratching and working that in so that grass will come back. I'm going to let it rain and probably this fall I'll throw seed down here. But that's what we've done for several other areas, and it does come in a whole lot better than without it. So going on to the buck pen, that'll be quick. I mean, you know what bucks are here for, right? Exactly. All right, happy bucks, full water. They've still got some hay. So don't get me wrong, we have adorable little bucks, but I don't want to smell like that all the time. So they're doing great over here. They have each other. I am going to show you. Here, let me flip this around. So everybody's seen this several times. The tape's up. But this was our woods that used to look like that thick stuff that we cleared out. And the horses were in here. They've been off of it a week. Check this out. I have not seeded in here at all, but look at this. I think, trying to figure out what this is. I'm thinking this is either long fescue or some kind of Timothy. I don't know off the top of my head. It's everywhere. We put an alfalfa round bale over there and we fed fescue and Timothy orchard mix in here everywhere. So I don't know if this is coming from the manure that they've spread or just seed coming off of the hay. I do plan to seed it, but it's been very dry. I would seed just to have it go into the soil and then overseed, because I know much of it won't sprout right away, but I'm not going to do it now. I'll probably try and keep them out of here a little bit longer. We're growing really good grass over there, so I'll use that as much as possible. But yeah, we're growing grass here. Look at this. It's everywhere. Once you get into this, you realize how you get excited about the very little progressions. Okay, moving on from the boys, and I'm gonna head over to the rabbits. Obviously, they've been fed and watered by a very good sun. And I'll just talk about them real quick. Man, it's sunny over here. We are going to, in about 20 minutes, it won't be sunny, but still, they don't need, hi Jojo, to sit in the sun. We're gonna move them right there where it gets shadier earlier, just because it's hot. Hey baby, so this is Jojo. He's our buck. I really, really like him. He's a sweet guy. Hi, aren't you, Jojo? Yeah, it's okay. He's a good rabbit. All right, and then we've got, hang on, let me latch this. All right, moving on, we have two of our not breeding age does. That's Sun, and where's her sister? Moon, are you back there? Mooney's back there. Moon is actually super cuddly and really likes people, but she's black. She doesn't want to be in the sun right now, and I cannot blame her. And then down the line, we have two that are almost breeding age. Hey ladies, these are Dee Dee's favorites. These are sisters. This is Ripley and Riley. Hi girls. And we do cage keep our rabbits. I am interested in down the line learning more about colony raising. For now it works very well. They go on grass. Each of them get about 3 hours. And then we put them back in with their ice blocks to stay cool. Mama's in the barn with a fan, so she's good. I'm gonna take you over and show you Popcorn, Gundam, and they ended up naming the little black chicken Bendy? It's some cartoon or game reference. I'm sure most of you will understand it, and I won't, so let's go check them out. Okay, so you remember the little rabbit tractor that I said I built for little rabbits? Well, it's not being used for little rabbits right now. Hey guys. Alright. It's okay. So, here's what Popcorn looks like right now. He's got the poof going, or she, we don't know what it is, but I let them out for a few hours a day. They scrounge around. They're on the other side of the front of our property from the big chickens, because I'm worried that the big chickens will bug them. Let me get Gundam and Bendy out. Gundam. This is Corb's chicken. He's probably the biggest. He's super fluffy. Hi. Popcorn actually likes people's attention. He likes being held and stuff. Gundam, not so much. Again, we don't know if it's a boy or girl, but
fun to have around. All right, the littlest chicken that there ever was. And keep in mind, these chickens are the same size as the meat chickens and our juvenile chickens. And this guy is so small. Like, I swear he's still just a little bigger than my fist. Look at this guy. Have you ever seen such a funny looking little chicken? Look at his little, I feel like we should have named him Alfalfa. You think your name should be Alfalfa? Whatever, I don't know. Oh, okay. Put him down, let him play. Okay, well, I feel like my little interview partners here, we've covered everything. You know why we have our chickens and our ducks and our turkeys and our rabbits and our goats and our freeloading horses. We will do some different animals over the year, so that'll be fun. I like how it's challenged us so much and given us, me especially, being on a reduced work schedule because I really thrive off of work. It's given me a lot of purpose, and it's also given the kids a lot of purpose, and they get to have a nice relationship with some very interesting animals along the way, and a better understanding and relationship to their meals, and probably an appreciation for that food, and that's my hope. So if you have any questions about being a vegetarian or raising animals, we are new. This is probably never going to be a how-to channel ever. This may be a sharing of information, certainly sharing fails, because I have no doubt we will fail along the way. But failure really is part of the process of gaining any kind of success or learning, so you just have to kind of take it in stride. But yeah, we're gonna get on to our much more relaxed day. It's beautiful outside. It's one reason I love this. I don't sleep in. I get up about 5:30, 6 o'clock every morning and have to wait to feed the animals because I just look forward, and when it's like this, it is glorious. Plus you just get to sit and listen to the farm noise. Turkeys are right by the camera. Hang on, look at this. These guys crack me up. Okay, I will give you a little advice. Try animals you don't know. Have more animal carriers than you think you need. And those buckets with lids that they sell at Tractor Supply and Lowe's, you can get them cheaper at Walmart. They're in the painting section or the hunting section or the fishing section, depending on where you live. And I think it's $2 a bucket, and it's $1 something for a lid. Keep that in mind. Just some tips. All right. Peace out. Have a good day.